Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. We got something a little bit different today. I know we've been covering a lot of, other topics as of late, but now we're getting back into a little bit more of that true crime realm, okay? Some terrible thing happened out in Tennessee that we most definitely need to talk about. And this is just crazy. I'm going to be real. This is just crazy. And this person, this man, this suspect is still out on the lam, still out here on the loose. So again, we have definitely got to talk about all of this. Okay. This is crazy. So do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush the do what to do. Hit that reaction button if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. All right. Don't forget, of course, if you haven't done this yet, hit that follow button if you're watching on all my other platforms. I'm streaming live on multiple platforms, okay? But I am on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Kick, Twitch. Go. Show some love. Subscribe, follow, all that from on those other platforms. Make sure you're subscribed here on my main channel here. That'll be greatly appreciated. Okay, subscribe here. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Make sure you're subscribed over there. Go to my third channel, Pascal Raw. Okay, it's a brand new podcast. Go check it out. Subscribe over there as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. Hit that notification bell on all the platforms so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because right now it's just kind of random. It's a busy time right now, guys, okay? So please do that favor for me, okay? That'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe, please and thank you. All right? Hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, and of course, check out pascalmerch.com, okay? All righty, guys. We got to get straight into this, okay? It's going to be kind of a faster, shorter show. I know I always say that and it ends up being a longer show, but this is definitely going to be a shorter show today. But we do need to talk about this situation that's going on in Tennessee. A manhunt is going on. There is a search for a suspect. No, this is not a broke-ass Tom Green, okay? This broke-ass looking Tom Green looking ass. This man's name is Austin Drummond. Mr. Shady, Slim Shady here is on the run right now because they believe he took the life of 4 individuals after a baby was found in the lawn of somebody's home. This baby was the 7-month-old baby, if I'm correct. A 7-month-old girl was left in her car seat, basically just in the grass, right? There was a report. Police called because, of course, this was like a very, very hot day, past 100 degrees plus. You have a 7-month-old out there in the blistering heat. So somebody saw this, made a 911 call. A few hours later, 4 individuals were found gone in a wooded area, and these are their faces right here. Okay, it was you could basically say the Wilson/Williams family. Okay, so you have a brother and sister who happened to be the woman at the top left-hand corner here. She happens to be the mother, the biological mother of the baby girl that was left basically on the side of the road. All right. And next to her is her boyfriend, who happens to be the father of the baby girl. Okay. Then down below is her brother. Okay. Bottom right-hand corner, and her mother. Okay. That happens to be right underneath her photo. All 4 people were found deceased in the woods. Now, here's the thing. We got to go back to the broke ass Tom Green. But here it is. This man, Austin Drummond is his name. Okay. He is out on the loose right now. They have been trying to find him ever since this murder happened. Okay. And there's some information now we're starting to understand, we're starting to learn, and we're going to hear and learn all of those things as we go live or as we go through this live. Okay. Because like I said, this is still a fairly new case to me, and I'm sure it's a fairly new case for you guys. So we are going to go through it together and learn a little bit more about this situation. So let's get into some articles here real quick, okay? Yeah, he does look a little zesty now, doesn't he? But that's another conversation in itself, okay? We are going to be going into a deep dive and hearing a little bit more about Austin Drummond. And trust me, there'll be plenty of time to roast his ass in a little bit, okay? There'll be plenty of time. You know, we roast our criminals on this show. You know, when we find, if there's a monster out there on the loose, we unleash, okay? We unleash the roasting, okay? And he's definitely going to get roasted. So a man is at large. Austin Drummond, again, Slim Shady. Let me just pull his face up one more time. That's his mother-loving face, okay? Yeah. I bet prison really loved him. Moving on, though, we're gonna get back. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Let's just continue. Okay, let's continue. So a man is at large after allegedly taking the lives of 4 family members, leaving the baby alive in Tennessee. So a manhunt is still underway. We understand that his car has been found now, just so you guys know. That's an update from last night. But like I said, we're going to be looking at a bunch of videos here very shortly, just covering this whole situation that's going on. And if I'm correct, there was a tragedy that happened at a bar in Montana. Is that guy still on the loose? Is that trigger man still on the loose as well? I could have, this guy right here, they're showing his face right there in that little video on the side. Is he still on the loose? I think he took the life of 4 people at a bar in Montana as well. So I'm kind of curious, is he still on the loose or no? But that's another conversation in itself. If you guys do know, let me know, okay? Because I saw that, you know, I saw that being covered, people talking about it. Obviously, I saw the news, but I didn't get a chance to cover the tragedy that actually happened. And now I still think that guy is still on the loose too. So you got 2 monsters on the loose in various areas right now. And they apparently both took out 4 people as well, which is very interesting as well. But again, that's very interesting. Back to Austin Robert Drummond, okay, who happens to be 29 years. He's 29 years old. Oh my God. He had a horde life, okay? Horde, okay? My white friends, okay? Those that come from the Caucasus Mountains, please moisturize, love, and sunblock, okay? SPF 5000, okay? I'm just doing y'all a favor. Moisturize, baby, moisturize, because this man does not look like he's 29, okay? He looks about like he done have like 17 kids, and he has a whole bunch of alimony that he owes. Okay, whole lot of child support that he owes. Okay, he looks like he been ran through. He probably has been ran through in prison, because he does have a prison record as well, because he is trash. But here it is, though. This guy is a horde. 29. Okay. Sheesh. Moisturize, honeys, moisturize. But moving on, 29, which I think is an absolute lie. They need to check his ID and his birth certificate. You know what I mean? They need to get Candace Owens on this, because she'll basically say that that's a lie. Okay, and she'll say that he's an alien or something like that. You feel me? But moving on. 29 years old, okay, who allegedly took the life of 4 people and left their baby alive, okay, he is still on the run. He's considered armed and dangerous following the unalivings of 38-year-old Courtney Rose, who happens to be the grandmother, okay? Rose's children, 20-year-old Adriana Williams and 15-year-old Braden Williams, who happens to be brother and sister. And then Adriana Williams' boyfriend, who is 21-year-old James Michael Williams, okay, who happened to be, they made a baby together, and that's the baby that was found, the 7-month-old girl that was found, okay? So, this is absolutely terrible, by the way, okay? Absolutely terrible. So, the victims were unalived on Tuesday and found along a road in Lake County in northwest Tennessee near the state's borders with Arkansas, Missouri, and Kentucky. The same day, Wilson and Williams' baby was left in a car seat in a random individual's front yard in nearby Dyer County, according to Dyer County Sheriff's Office and Danny Goodman, District Attorney for Dyer and Lake Counties. The infant was treated by paramedics and is now safe, being cared for, of course, okay? Which, of course, is obviously good news. The TBI said the unalivings were not random. Investigators believe Drummond knew the victims. Apparently, he was like the girlfriend of, or like the boyfriend. Girlfriend is kind of fitting right now, given how zesty he is. But moving on, he was the boyfriend of somebody that was connected to the grandmother of this situation. That, like I said, I'm still trying to try to understand everything as we go here, okay? But he's wanted on 4 counts of first-degree M, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of felon in possession of a firearm, because he does have a prison record. Yes, indeed, he is a felon because he went into a convenience store and then he tried to rob it, armed robbery, and he got locked up for a little while over stealing $44. And that's not a joke. That is real life. He literally walked into a convenience store and said, "Give me your mother effing money. I'm not playing, bro." And he ran out and he got arrested for stealing $44. Yeah, he a real G, Shogun. Yeah, real G. Yeah. But, he still, I'm sure, is trying to aspire to become a world famous rapper. Moving on, though. So, 4 counts of felon in possession of a firearm and 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. So, while this is an extremely tragic and violent event, TBI said on social media, there is no sign of compassion, or there was a sign of compassion, that tells us there's a possibility that Austin may have a sense that there is hope for him to be able to come in and have a conversation about what happened. I don't see how this is a sign of compassion, given the fact that he just left the baby off on the side of the road. You feel me? He just ran up to some random person's front lawn and just dropped off this 7-month-old baby in its car seat in the dead heat of the summer and then kick rocks. To me, that is not a sign of compassion. That is a sign of a dude being dumb. This is a sign of a dude that got arrested for robbing a place for $44. You see what I'm saying? This is not a sign of compassion. If there was compassion, he would have walked into the prison or into the precinct and said, "I did it. Lock me up." Even after the fact, if there was compassion. Okay? He dumb. He dumb. Let me repeat that again. He dumb. Okay? And what kind of conversation you gonna have? Yeah, I did that. And he's dumb. So Come on now. TBI director Roush said authorities believe Drummond is still in the area. Yeah, because they apparently found his 2016 Audi in Jackson, Tennessee. And Drummond has ties to Jackson. How fitting, though. How fitting, though. So what if he's holed up in like his mama's basement right now? Palms are sweaty, mom's spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? What if he's actually in the basement of his mama's crib right now? Would he be that dumb? I think he would be. I think he actually would be. I don't think he thought this whole thing out. You see what I'm saying? Compassion my ass. I'll say it out loud. Compassion my mother-loving ass. Okay? So moving on. They said Drummond had been out on bail for an attempted M charge. So he was already violent, which stemmed from an alleged incident while he was in prison for attempted robbery. So while he was in prison, wait a second. So this stemmed from an incident that happened while he was in prison, while he was locked up because he tried to steal $44. Okay. I guess that beef that happened inside the prison got clicked and dragged out into real life, into these wilderness streets. And I guess he got into some trouble. And there was an attempted M charge now. He was out on bond for that. So regardless, this clearly is a guy who has a violent streak in him for sure. Clearly. And maybe him being locked up made him more aggressive, made him more violent. I don't know. But at the same time, he did try to rob a joint for $44. So there is now a $15,000 reward that's been offered for any information leading to this man's arrest. Let's go into this next article here. This is absolutely crazy. So, relative of 4, found gone, says her family trusted the suspect who's on the run. I got to hit the button. So they're saying that the dude knew the 4, and the 4 knew this piece of trash. Broke ass Tom Green. My bum is on a... Nobody? No? Smeagol. Nobody? Nobody. My bum is on the fence. Nobody? Nobody. Okay, that's fine. Nobody remembers Tom Green. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. He was a flash in the pan, you know? So anyway, a relative of 4 people found gone in Tennessee this week described her family as heartbroken and confused, saying Thursday on Facebook that the suspect has, quote unquote, literally been nothing short of amazing to us and our kids. What? So now the suspect is a good guy. He's a good guy with a heart of gold. Okay? Now he's the guy with a heart of gold. Come on, guys. Stop. So the statement, written by a woman who identified herself as the sister-in-law and aunt of 3 victims, was posted after the TBI identified the suspect as Austin Robert Drummond, who now they're saying is 28. Don't reverse his age, okay? He old. He look old. He a hard 29. We're going to stay with that, okay? But they trying to reverse things, trying to make him look young. He ain't young. He old. He an old 29. All right? He a dumb old soul. How's that? Drummond, who is wanted for charges of first-degree M, aggravated kidnapping, and firearm offenses, remains at large and should be considered armed and dangerous, the agency said in a news release. And they have to just zoom into his face big time to let everybody know that he old. He old. Just so you know, there's a horde 29. We don't need to reverse, or it's fine. He 29. That's fine. We're just, you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to argue about the price. Okay. If that's the price, that's the price. All right. Okay. But I still going to look at him and hard side eyes. All right. But this is the man that's out on the lam. No, he don't even look 39. He looked like he in his 40s. Trust. He's had a hard life. Moving on. He's been added to the state's most wanted list and is believed to be, well, he's not driving the Audi anymore, which, by the way, how does he have a 2016 Audi A3? That's what I'd like to know, too. That Audi A3 must have like 200,000 miles on it or something. Same dude who just got out. He's basically, what do they say over here? What do they say? Because of prison beef. Okay. He was out on bond and he was still driving around in an Audi A3 at 2016. Yes, it's a little old, but at the same time, damn, it's a nice ass car. Okay. So sure. Whatever. Okay. So the Facebook post author, who said is married to the brother of one of the victims, did not respond to the messages on the platform or phone numbers associated with her. Of course, they're trying to figure out what's going on here. Okay, the victims found Tuesday in Northwest Tennessee's Lake County were identified, like we already know, but I'll say their names again because they need to be heard as well. So you have 21-year-old Matthew Wilson, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, and Braden Williams, who happens to be 15 years old. Okay, now this is insane. Okay, that this even happened. Okay, and the fact that you have someone as young as 15 years old losing their life in this fashion, just, all four people losing their lives in this way is very strange to me. And it does make you wonder what actually happened here. Okay, was this some gang related situation where these four and the baby happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time? But then it doesn't make any sense. How could the guy, and I'm just ruminating theories here. Okay, this is just speculation city real quick, but it just doesn't make any sense that it would be all four of these individuals would lose their lives. Okay, but he wouldn't catch a bullet either, and then the baby would still be alive too. That doesn't make any sense. So to me, this man most definitely did what they're suspecting him of doing, what he did. Don't know why he did what he did. This just doesn't make any sense. Okay. But at the same time, evil sometimes doesn't need any explanation. Sometimes evil just happens for the sake of just being evil. So maybe that's what it is here too. This is absolutely disturbing and extremely sad, but let's continue on. So they were relatives of an infant discovered in the front yard of a home in nearby Dyer County earlier that afternoon, according to Danny Goodman, the district attorney for Lake and Dyer counties. The child is alive, which of course is great. All right. And of course, the baby's being evaluated, I'm sure. Right. But the fact that baby was out in the dead of heat like that, and it's only 7 months old, insane. Okay. Authorities have not said how the four passed away, which is also extremely important, because if it's GSWs, if they all perish from GSWs, if you get what I'm saying, from the pew pew, then that would explain a lot. If they passed from asphyxiation of some sort or whatever, that would, you know what I mean? Then we can kind of look at the situation and see what's going on, right? But it seems very strange that all four of these individuals lose their lives and they're found in a wooded area. They need to put out what actually happened here. Okay? They need to put out how these four lost their lives, because if they lost their lives in different ways, that would be very interesting too, right? Then the other question is, it's like, shoot, this is the wild thought. I mean, I'm saying he did this, but what if it was another party that did this? and he was just there. So you'd think, or you would hope, that they would give out some more information, but there's not. They haven't really given much, which is really, really frustrating. So in Thursday's Facebook post, relative wrote that her family thought that they knew Drummond well. We all trusted him, she wrote. According to the post, Drummond previously dated a sister of Rose's, okay, the abandoned child's grandmother. So he was dating the grandmother's sister, okay, which is interesting. Which, by the way, this is a very young grandmother, okay? It's a very young grandmother. She's 38 years old, and her daughter is 20, right? So again, very interesting, right? And so it would make sense that he would be dating if the grandmother's that young, it would make sense that he would be dating the sister of the grandmother, right? So that's very strange. And I'm wondering what's going on here, right? So Wilson and Adriana Williams were the infant's parents, like I explained to you guys before, all right? And then Braden was actually the uncle or Adriana's brother, okay? Yes, he was close to our family, the post said. Yes, we cared about him and thought he cared about us. He has literally been nothing short of amazing to us and our kids every time he's been around us up until this point. That doesn't make it... Moving on. We never expected him to cause any harm to anyone, much less anyone in our family, the post continues. We are heartbroken. We are confused. We are devastated. We are mortified. We are hurting. Our kids are hurting. We want justice for my sister-in-law, niece, nephew, and niece's boyfriend, the post adds. Public records show that Drummond was convicted of an armed robbery in nearby Madison County in 2014. His sentence ended last September, prison records show. 2 months after the completion of that sentence, he was charged with attempted M and substance crimes, court records in Lake County show. Goodman said the allegations were related to crimes he is accused of committing while he was incarcerated at Northwest Correctional Complex, a prison in Lake County. Drummond was out on bond on those charges at the time of the quadruple unaliving, Goodman said. His lawyer in the attempted M case did not immediately respond for request. And of course, apparently now they're saying, okay, so a previous version of this article misstated Drummond's age. He's a whore 28. Not 29. It makes it worse. I'm sorry. Horde 28. Okay? So this guy is out here doing God knows what. We don't know where this guy is. Okay? But apparently they found his ride, which I'm going to pull up here. They apparently found his ride, but he is nowhere to be found right now, which is interesting. Let's take a look.
We begin with breaking news as a car connected to the man suspected of murdering 4 people in West Tennessee and kidnapping a baby has been found. In a social media post made a few hours ago, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says the 2016 Audi A3 linked to Austin Robert Drummond was found abandoned in Jackson, which is about 2 hours west of Nashville. Drummond is still on the run in this case. Now, Drummond is wanted by the TBI, the Lake County Sheriff's Department, on murder and kidnapping charges. Deputies warn that he should be considered armed and dangerous. So if you see him, stay clear and call 911.
Now, their audio is absolute trash, but yeah, his car has been found. But of course, there's a lot more to try to understand what actually happened here. I'm going to pull this up from Law and Crime. They did a really good cover of this whole situation here. Let's take a listen to some of this.
To the killings of 4 people. Law enforcement says he is armed and dangerous. He's accused of killing these 4 family members this week. Their bodies were found 45 minutes north, hours after police found this baby alive, but abandoned, still in their car seat, left on the front lawn of a stranger's home alone. We're on the case, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Folding in that state this week. As we speak, there's a manhunt for the man you see right here. His name is Austin Robert Drummond, and the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation put these pictures out in just the last few hours, and they also say he is now on Tennessee's most wanted list. Drummond is 28 years old. He stands 5'10", weighs roughly 190 pounds, has brown hair, blue eyes, and a goatee. But law enforcement says it's important to note that his appearance may have been altered, especially since his picture is now being plastered everywhere.
So if you find a Tom Green looking ass, sans goatee, then Bob's your uncle. That's basically it.
Picture of the vehicle that investigators say he may be driving. This is a 2016 white Audi. It has Tennessee plates with the number RI01896. Drummond does claim to be from Rhode Island, but these, according to law enforcement, are plates from Tennessee. He also now hails from Jackson, Tennessee, according to his Facebook page, which is an hour away from where this baby was found. And I'll get more into that in just a moment. He is considered armed and dangerous. Investigators say they have warrants charging him with 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of aggravated kidnapping, 4 counts of possession of a firearm, and 1 count of possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. And we're learning more about his connection, potentially to the victims. I'll tell you that in just a moment, but here's what he is accused of doing. On Tuesday in Dyer County, Tennessee, which is about an hour and a half from Memphis, police found this 7-month-old baby in the front yard of a stranger's house. Now, because of the rules of YouTube, we have to blur the baby's face because she's been found alive. And that is good news in what is a very tragic and disturbing story. Dyers County Sheriff's deputies say a dark-colored minivan or a white mid-sized SUV was reported to have dropped the infant off still in their car seat in the front yard of the house. This was around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then, fast forward a couple hours later, we're at 8 o'clock at night, 45 minutes north in Lake County, Tennessee. Police found the bodies of these 4 people. Their names are Courtney Rose, Matthew Wilson, Adriana Williams, and Braden Williams. Braden, who you see in the bottom right, was just 15 years old, and he was the uncle of the baby found in the front yard. Here's a picture of Courtney Rose. The 38-year-old was the maternal grandmother of the baby found abandoned. The baby's mom was 20-year-old Adriana Williams, who you see here holding the baby at the hospital when she was a newborn. The baby's dad was Matthew Wilson, and here are pictures of the 21-year-old in the hospital from when the baby was born. At this point, investigators have not said the cause of death for the 4 family members, but again, this is who they say is responsible, Austin Drummond. As far as Drummond's connection to this group, we did notice on Facebook he is friends with Adriana Williams. That's the 20-year-old mom of the baby. And we're also learning that Drummond may be more than just a social media follow. Burton Staggs is a journalist. He's been on Law and Crime, and he's been covering this story on the ground in Western Tennessee. And here's what he is reporting as the connection that Drummond has to the people who he allegedly killed.
His relationship to the deceased is that he is the significant other, former significant other of the grandmother who is deceased in this case, sister.
So it appears that Drummond was known to this family in some capacity. Drummond, according to police, is a felon. Now, we found this document on Tennessee's court's website that says that Drummond was convicted of aggravated battery for a...
Hold on, we're going to get into that here in a second. But so again, first off, yes, I agree, Lauren. Okay, thank God the baby's alive. It's just really tragic that now this baby has no parents. This baby has been orphaned allegedly by this piece of trash. Okay, just being completely real. I just can't believe that we're dealing with another situation where 4 people lost their lives, and they've lost their lives in such a fashion. But at least this time, this is not a situation where they're going, where could well, they don't know where he is, but like, who could the person be? You know what I mean? It's not that whole situation, so hopefully this guy is going to be brought to justice very, very soon. But nonetheless, it is crazy that you have someone of the likes of this Austin Drummond character who was allegedly very nice and kind to the family, didn't seem like he would ever hurt a fly, and then something like this happens. It seems a little strange, but I am kind of curious as to what happened here, right? And more importantly, I think the most important thing that we need to figure out, or we need to know, is how did these four lose their lives? It's not like they just suddenly just got unplugged from the matrix and just their lifeless bodies just fell to the ground all at the same time randomly. Something happened here. And if it is truly what the police are saying, like, this is definitely Austin Drummond, so what is the connection, right? How do you know for sure that Austin Drummond is, without a shadow of a doubt, the guy, right? Is the monster who did this. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I don't believe the police. Oh, I believe them, because I feel like this is very straightforward. But I'm wanting to know, what is it that he did? What did he do? What did he use? Anything specifically? How were their bodies found, etc.? Was it GSWs? Was it, using a knife? Was it using a rock? What exactly did this guy do to erase these individuals from this from this planet? The other thing too is, Amanda says it was revenge, Pascal. Well, then what is the revenge? What's the origin story to that revenge, right? Why would he do what he did? What kind of revenge, right? Like, you know what I mean? Now it sounds like the like some crazy show, like some crazy movie you see on Lifetime. Like he was out there to seek revenge this entire time. These individuals were connected to somebody who's, locked up in prison right now. And this was his way of revenge, which is taking the lives of, wiping out this entire family as a middle finger to somebody back in prison or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So again, I'm just wondering what happened here and why it went down the way it went down, and what would be the reason for any revenge to take out on a 15, let's just be real, on someone who is as young as 15 years old. And I'm not trying to overlook the other people, the brother, the sister, and the father of the baby and the grandmother, but I'm just saying he took out, allegedly, even her brother, who was 15 years old. So what would garner this type of anger, this type of desire and need for, if it is revenge, right? What's the origin story to this? What's the reasons behind this? By the way, when the police say, oh yeah, he has some sort of compassion in his body, there's at least one compassionate bone in his body. No, he took out a 15-year-old kid. There's no compassion here. Now, if he really is the one who did it, there's no compassion here. Maybe he can't fathom the idea of taking out a 7-month-old baby, but he most definitely took out a 15-year-old kid. So compassion, my booty. You know what I mean? We're going to continue, but that's very interesting. Very, unless it's like a jealousy thing. But then why do that to everybody? That just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? But please, guys, do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Okay. Hit that like button down below. Can we get it to like 300 likes? Okay. I know that this is still, a new case for a lot of you guys, because this is only a day or two old. So again, please hit that like button down below. Let's get to the 300 likes. That would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to keep an eye on this as well, just like we're keeping an eye on the Candace Owens stuff, the Epstein, Ghislaine stuff. I mean, the Diddy stuff. We're keeping an eye on a lot of things. So don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, please, and thank you. Let's hear what he got to say. This part is crazy and dumb. This shows you how dumb this guy is.
Robbery at a convenience store, and he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. This was back in 2014. The document states that the robbery happened in 2013. Drummond entered the convenience store in Madison County, Tennessee, walked behind the counter and pointed a pistol at the clerk and said, quote, "Open the drawer. I'm not expletive playing with you. Open the drawer." Now, the clerk testified that she, understandably so, was afraid for her life. Drummond got away that night, taking all the cash out of the register. But get this, he got away with only $44. That
Where was it? Where is that? $44. He got locked up for 10 years for 44. I got to do it. $44. I got to hit it again. Yeah, he dumb. Okay? He dumb. That's dumb. Okay? Let's continue on though. And yeah, of course, the clerk, okay, at that convenience store is going to be nervous and scared. He's pointing a weapon at that person and saying, "Give me your money." And he only ran out with $44. And then he got locked up for 10 years for $44. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could have done DoorDash for like an hour or two, and he could have made that money that he got locked up for. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? He could have done it like, half a day of DoorDashing. And he could have driven around in that Audi, that 2016 Audi A3, do some DoorDash, and he would have gotten more money than what he got when he tried to rob that place that got him locked up for 10 whole mother-loving years. Yeah, this guy's trash. This guy's trash. Now, Amanda was like, look at my previous comment. I'm going to look at it. Hold on. So he is a gang member. They ratted him out. He was caught saying he was going to take them out for it when he got out. Huh? Hold on. Let's pause this for a second. So he's, according to Amanda, this is just a comment. I don't know if this is 110% true. So don't hold this as solid proof. I haven't seen anything yet. I'm just taking this information in as we read it live. So he's a gang member. They ratted him out. He was caught saying that he was going to take them out for it when he got out. So they ratted him out when? They ratted him out when he was when he got locked up for robbing a convenience store for $44 10 years ago. And then he infiltrated the family after he got out, acting all nice and cuddly-wuddly, and then did this unthinkable thing to enact revenge on something that got him locked up 10 years ago for? The attempted M. Hold on. We got more. So the attempted M, they ratted him out. He was on the news yesterday. It's on recorded line. Do you have the video for that? Can you send that to me immediately? If you got that, send it to me, because I want to see that for myself as well. So it was allegedly, the theory at least out here is that it's revenge and that they were going to rat him out on the attempted M charge. And that he said, "I'm going to take them out," because they were the ones who ratted him out on this attempted M charge. Yeah, send him, Shorty, send my way, because I want to see this myself. Because that's crazy. If that's the case, that's knuckin' futz. But then it's like, how would he know? How would they know? How would he know that they were ratting him out? And then at the same time, all of them were going to rat him out? Even the 15-year-old kid was going to rat him out? Or was it one specific person that said that they were going to rat him out? You see what I'm saying? Now I got questions, because it doesn't, the math ain't mathing for me. You see what I'm saying? Because again, it's like, you take out all 4 people, all of them, because one of them's going to rat you out. That unless he was like this, there's no time like now. And then he said, well, they're all witnesses to this situation, so I'm going to take you all out at the same time. I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy if that's true. That's crazy if that's true. We're going to continue. Amanda, let me know when you get it. Send it my way, please, because I would love to see that audio or hear that audio or see that clip, because that sounds insane. And like I said, what information would the Williams Wilson family know? What would they have that could get him so angry to the point where he would do something like this? Let's continue here.
That's it. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. So if he served the full length of that sentence, he would have gotten out of prison just last year. Before we get back to this episode
of course, you got to do a commercial break, but this is very interesting. We're, like I said, this is still very brand new to me. We're going to look up a few more things because that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I will say. And like I said before, his car, the Audi, okay, has been found. All right. They found the Audi. That has been found for sure. Okay. Just a quick reminder on that. But this is some wild stuff. Hold on. Of course, this is them talking about the Audi being found. I'm going to play this again really quick so you guys can see this.
There's a lot going on right now. Breaking news on News Channel 3 at 4. The TBI says the car, believed to have been driven by the man wanted for killing 4 people in West Tennessee, has been found in Jackson, Tennessee. And a massive manhunt is still going on right now. What you're looking at are exclusive pictures from that area where that vehicle was found on MCO Road. And there's a large police presence on the ground and in the air. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Alex Coleman.
And I'm April Thompson. Now, that vehicle was found in a wooded area, and Jackson police say it looks like the suspect, Austin Drummond, has been living in it and may be in the area. He was reportedly seen last Wednesday. Now, the 4 victims, ranging in ages from 15 to 38 years old, were from Dyer County, but their bodies were discovered in nearby Lake County earlier this week after a baby related to one of the victims was found abandoned in a nearby yard, and she's doing okay.
And this latest discovery of Drummond's vehicle has authorities in Jackson, Tennessee, telling residents to be on high alert and lock their doors since Drummond is considered armed and dangerous.
Now, it does make you wonder, if he went back to Jackson, Tennessee, where could he be? Man, you know what? Somebody just said it looking like a broke ass Edward Norton, American History X type stuff. Okay. Let me just keep it a bean. Yeah, I was like, who else does he look like? That's an Edward Norton looking ass. Okay, Edward broke ass, unlucky. Okay, didn't get the good genes. Okay, Edward Norton looking ass. All right. So apparently, homeboy, Mr. Fight Club, could very well be in the Jackson, Tennessee area, because they found his car. Now, is he this dumb? Yes! This man's that dumb. How dumb is he? He's so dumb that he went to a convenience store and he walked out with $44 and 10 years in prison. That's how dumb he is. Okay? It's not like he went out there and he got a whole bunch of money. Not like he walked out with a couple grand. No. He risked his whole life for $44. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Times are rough out here. We all trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. But at the same time, hamburger. You walked in and you walked out with 10 years for stealing 44 mother-loving dollars. Crazy. It's just nasty work. It's just nasty work. Okay, Mr. Mom Spaghetti, palms are sweaty, subliminal, okay? Minimal, subliminal. That dude, okay? is somewhere in Jackson, Tennessee, for sure. Unless he stole another car and drove off with that car. That's a possibility too. But you'd think that there'd be street cams, etc., right?
WREG's Mike Sirianni has been covering this very tragic case and joins us live from Jackson, where the TBI just wrapped up their news conference. Mike.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Alex. The TBI just wrapped up, as you said, at their headquarters here in Jackson just a short time ago. The press conference attended by a number of law enforcement representatives from the area, all of them who have been involved in this case. Now, during the press conference, all of them spoke. They all expressed, of course, their prayers and sorrow for the victims in this situation. Also expressed their desire to find Austin Drummond, who is still being sought. And as you said, his vehicle was recovered in the Jackson area, but he is still on the run. Now, the TBI director, David Rausch, made a very interesting appeal to Drummond, because Drummond did drop the baby off in the yard there in Dyer County. And Rausch said that action showed a bit of compassion on Drummond's part. And Rausch is appealing to Drummond to turn himself in.
Now this could, think about this for a second. They might be doing like playing at his heartstrings a little bit. Hear me out. They could literally be saying to the public, well, now can't you see now that shows a little sign of compassion from the actual suspect, because he left that baby right out there in the front lawn of some random person's house. You can see proof positive, ladies and germs, that this man, Austin Drummond, is indeed a compassionate person, because he saved that baby's life. He spared that baby's life. So maybe he'll be able to come in and sit down and explain to us exactly what happened here. My thoughts is this. Maybe they're saying this because it sounds dumb. It sounds dumb to me for them to say something like that. But they might be playing the long game here. They might be saying that out here because you know for a fact Mr. Drummond is out here checking the internet. He's trying to find out where he can go and where he can hide, where they're probably running and searching what areas. Oh, damn, they're right next to me. And I'm hiding in this bush, and they're looking in the very area that this bush may be in. I got to run. I got to keep moving. So maybe they're saying that because they think that they can tug at his heartstrings and convince him to turn himself in a peaceful manner by saying that out loud. Like, hey, don't worry, sir. We ain't going to shoot you. We understand that you spared that baby's life. You have compassion, sir. Just come out of the bushes, wherever you may be. Okay, young man, old ass, hard 28 years old man, and put your hands up in the air and we will spare your life. We see you have compassion. You saved that baby's life. You spared her life. So there's still some heart in your body. Come on now. They might be saying that just to get him to come out. And then they will descend upon him with so much fury that he won't even know which way is up. Again, he will be back in prison again, wearing Kool-Aid lipstick, holding the inside pocket of a man named Toby. Wait for it, because he is a little zesty. He is. Okay? Zestfully clean. Just get ready. So maybe he's doing that. Maybe they're doing that in hopes that he's going to see the posts, see the press conferences, and go, well, maybe I should. Maybe I should turn myself in. It was compassionate. Yeah. So maybe there is some hope that they're going to, not go so hard on me. Well, prison will go hard on you. Right, Diddy? Anyway, let me get some of these super chats here really quick. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Angel, thank you so much. Angeline, or Angel in Disguise. Sorry, I'm like Angeline. Angel, thank you so much. I only came here for the free coffee and biscuits. Yeah. And the $44. Oh, and the free 10 years in prison. But anyway, moving on. H. Griffin, thank you so much for the love. Of course, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming through. Guys, hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button down below. Okay. Don't forget to hit that like button down. What the heck? Hold on. Boom. Don't forget to hit the like button down below, please. And thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. He spared a baby. He spared a baby. So he has compassion right down, deep down in his soul. Okay? Good God. Let's move on. But it might be a move on their part to try to get him to come out so they don't have to waste taxpayers' dollars going out here in these wilderness streets trying to find broke ass Tom Green. Let's move on.
That tells us that there's a possibility that Austin may have a sense that that there is hope for him to be able to come in and have a conversation about what happened. And because of that, we're asking him to give us a call. Let us pick you up or bring yourself in. Find a legal representative and come by. And let us sit down and have a conversation about what happened.
And yes, I do want to say that every one of those law enforcement representatives to the man said that they are committed to finding Drummond. Now, a sizable reward is being offered, so they're hoping that will encourage someone to reveal where Drummond may be. Coming up later, we'll have more on this, team coverage on this breaking news event. Reporting live from Jackson, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
Just got out of prison back in September. News Channel 3 has obtained surveillance video from the convenience store robbery Drummond was convicted of years ago. Now, this was back in July of 2013.
Let me roll that back. That's so dumb. I'm sorry. That's so dumb. Look at this. This is really footage. I mean, some people just really want to be locked up. Some people just want street cred for what reason, I don't know. So desperately. Like, I don't know what's going on. But you got Slim Shady, okay, coming through, doing what he do. This is so stupid. I'm gonna play it again. Give me that money. And then he's like, he literally pulls up the tray to look underneath to see if there's any more money. But no, there's no more money.
And just got out of prison back in September. News Channel 3 has obtained surveillance video from the convenience store robbery Drummond was convicted of years ago. Now, this was back in July of 2013. Police say,
you know, he could at least grab some of that change. He would have at least kind of rounded up to maybe $50. You know what I'm saying? He could have found, like, there was a whole bunch of pennies and some quarters and some nickels and some, he could have walked out with at least $50. At least. But no, he walked out with just cold hard cash, $44, and he walked into a prison cell for 10 whole years. Yeah.
he walked into a Circle K in Jackson, Tennessee, and pointed a pistol at the clerk demanding money from the cash register. He only got away with $44. Drummond was convicted on aggravated robbery and was sentenced to 10 years in prison.
So again, a massive manhunt going on in Jackson, Tennessee right now, where authorities say they found Austin Drummond's empty vehicle. They say he was last seen in Jackson on Wednesday and believe he may still be in the area. He is considered armed and dangerous, and they are telling residents to be on alert. Of course, we'll have much more on this developing story throughout the evening on News Channel.
Okay, now here's the thing. Yes, he is very, very, he's armed and extremely dangerous. Let's be real. But also, what makes him more dangerous is the fact that he has minimal IQ. I think that's really important to think about as well. Okay? That he's very dumb. And he's so dumb that causes him to also be very, very dangerous because he's not thinking about other things. Sure, at least he had a soul enough to spare the baby's life, but he didn't spare that 15-year-old boy's life. He didn't spare the 3 other people that he also took the lives of, allegedly. Okay? He clearly is a very dumb person. And dumb people do very drastic things that can also be very detrimental to the public. So it's not like he's really smart and he's, doing this and he's armed and dangerous. No, he's dumb, armed, and dangerous, which makes it even more diabolical, guys. Because he's not thinking. He doesn't care. If he's out there and if you are standing between like freedom and him going to prison, he might do more stupid things, like try to take you out. This is not somebody who has any care for human life. Yeah, sure. He spared the baby's life, but he doesn't care about anybody else who isn't an infant or a baby or newborn. He doesn't care about that. So again, this man is very, very dangerous, very, very dumb. And I say, if you are in that area, please be safe because that guy could be anywhere. Here's the other thing, too. Dumb people do things, they'll continue to do desperate things all the time. They're not thinking. That's the problem. They're not thinking ahead. They're just going with the moment. Okay? They don't think things through, which hopefully means that him being dumb, he's going to be found somewhere very quickly. Not like he's out there like Cavalcante, Daniel Cavalcante. Remember the guy in Pennsylvania? They were out there doing a manhunt for damn near 2 weeks trying to find that dude out there in these streets, right? But that was because he was crafty and he was smart and he knew that Daniel Cavalcante, he knew how to live out there off the fat of the land. I don't see this with this guy. Okay? I don't see this with this guy. I mean, there's a lot you can do when you just need to survive. It's amazing what the human body can do when it just needs to survive, right? But at the same time, this guy's dumb. And I think he's going to be doing something really dumb that's going to get him caught. At least that's what I hope, right? At least that's what I'm hoping for. Carbonized, thank you so much for being a member for the past 18 months. I appreciate it. Thanks. That's called being fundamentally broken and devoid of humanity. Beautiful. Fundamentally broken and devoid of humanity. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes, and again, please, guys, hit that like button. Smash that like button down below. Amanda, did you find the clip real quick? Did you find the clip? I am curious about that. Because I'm going to have to wrap up here in a little bit. But let me see. Let me see if we got anything more. But while I'm looking this up, I'm just going to leave this up so you guys can see this with your own 2 eyes, especially for those y'all who are in the Tennessee area. You might see this guy. And yeah, he may have altered his look, which he could literally just be completely bald and no goatee. Or he might be dumb and just leave his face as is, thinking that, he's just another white guy out there in the streets, looking like every other white guy out here in these streets. You never know. Because here's the thing. Here's the other thing. The fact that with what happened here, it seems like it was such an impromptu situation that I don't think that this was like something that he thought about. I don't think this is something that he thought about for a very, very long time. So there is a possibility that he just walked in, or he just, like, the situation was very random. A crime of passion. without thinking. But then again, if the claims out here that are being said out here are true, then maybe he was planning some things ahead of time to strike. I don't know. But let me see. Hold on. Just grabbing a couple more things just to see, because there hasn't really been any new updates revolving around this situation. But still, nonetheless, this is pretty crazy. Like all the updates that they have about this has happened within the last 17 to 24 hours. Like there really hasn't been anything brand new, which is, like I said, very interesting. And tragic, because you'd think that there'd be newer updates. Just checking one more thing. But yeah, this is crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, crazy. 1 second, guys. But again, like I said, his name is Austin Drummond. They say that there's a massive manhunt for him in Jackson, Tennessee. I don't know if he's still there. Okay. Hold on. Sunny Days just said reports coming in that the red and white pickup have been found. I didn't know that there was a red and white. Oh, okay. The truck was found in Dyersburg. Hold on. All I know is that about the car that he had, the Audi that he had. But if there's another truck that he had, that's news to me. You're talking about X? Let me see. Burton Skaggs. What the heck? Hold on, I'm looking. Let me do this. Yeah, okay. So now they're saying, okay. So the theory, hold on. Let me take this off the screen real quick and then pull this up. Because it's clear to me that he would jump into another car. Like I said, maybe he stole another car and then drove off with that car, broke into another car, but then you'd think that there'd be, security cam footage of him breaking into that car, right? So now we got something new. Here's something new. And this is like 41 minutes old. So they're saying investigators searching for Austin Drummond have been wanting to locate this 1988 white Ford pickup truck with a red stripe. The truck has been located in Burnt Mill Road in Dyer County. So this is what the truck looks like. And of course, this is obviously it's got to be either it's his truck or he stole the truck. In an old truck like that, it's a pretty easy truck to kind of break into if you really think about it. The older trucks, it's a little bit easier to break into those kind of old school, more vintage type of trucks. We're not asking anyone in the Burnt Mill Road area with cameras to review your footage from Tuesday morning to see if you spot Drummond or this truck. So, of course, they say send tips to TBI at tbi.tn.gov, or you can call 1-800-TBI-FIND. That's crazy. Let's see if we got some more info, because that is nuts. So again, it would not be a surprise that he would steal that car and then break into, or steal that car, or it's his own truck and have him drive off with somebody else's truck. So again, that's very, very interesting. But I mean, that's the latest as far as updates about him being on the run. Now, if that's the case, and that's the car that they found on Tuesday, remember, it's Saturday now. He's not in, if that's the case, he's not in Tennessee anymore. Let's be real. He's not in Tennessee anymore. Do you understand that? This guy is not in Tennessee. He gone. Okay, at least that's my theory. Because why would he stick around in that area? Why would he stick around in Jackson, Tennessee? Why? He left that car behind. They're saying now that this red and white truck was found, like he was driving in that car. Okay. He gone. He's not in Tennessee anymore, guys. Trust and believe he's not in Tennessee anymore. Where is he? I don't know. But he ain't in Tennessee, I tell you what. So I'll show this to you guys one more time. Okay. Just so you guys can see this again. But this is the red and white truck that they're saying that he's allegedly driving right now. Okay. Now, what is the origin? What is the reason why he did this? We don't know. Okay. You're not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. Shoot. I'm just saying yeah, he gone. Okay. Now where he's at, don't know. And I'm just hoping he's not dumb enough to try to go south of the border. Like we going to Mexico. I just hope he's not dumb like that. Because they're going to catch him like that too. But I hope he's dumb, right? He's dumb enough to drive a red and white 1980 Ford pickup truck, 1988 Ford pickup truck. Okay. He's dumb enough to do that. It's not like he's driving some very regular car. He's driving a 1988 Ford pickup truck, red and white. This isn't just some regular car. You see what I'm saying? So he's dumb. He's dumb. So people are going to be driving around. It's not every day you see a 1988 Ford pickup truck out here in these streets. You see what I'm saying? He might as well be driving around like in a yellow Lambo right now. You see what I'm saying? He going to stick out like a sore thumb. Now, one last thing. Somebody asked, do I think entire just said, do you think he might try to get some help from family? If they do try to help him out, they're gonna have to answer for it. I don't think that the family is gonna want to rock with him like this. Not after something like this. I'm sorry. I just don't see I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a little cutthroat like this, but if it was my own kin and they're going and they're out on the lam and they're wanted for taking the life of 4 lives, even 1 life, period. I'm sitting there going, no, enjoy the rain. Bye. I'm going to give you a 20-second head start and I'm calling 911. Sorry, son. I'm doing you a favor, son. You know what I mean? I'll give you 20 seconds. I'll be like, dead ass, 20 seconds, go. Hey, yeah, he just showed up to my crib. That's it. Man, not even 20 seconds. You feel me? I'm calling 911 in my pants, in the pocket of my pants, right? As he's in the room or at the door with me. Okay? Forget that. No tolerance for that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You did what? You can explain all of that to the court. You don't have to explain it to me. If you innocent, prove it. Sorry, not sorry. Got to do you a favor, son. Some days the Lord wants to, teach you some hard lessons. And today, it's going to be a hard lesson. Yeah, my son's right in front of me. Yeah, he's the one out on the lam. Yeah, he's the dumbass named Austin Drummond. Yeah, he the slim shaded looking ass dude. Yeah, Mom Spaghetti. Yeah, you know that song. Yeah, Mom Spaghetti. Yeah. He's right in front of me. Come get him. That's it. No apologies whatsoever. Okay? You ain't going to see me going, go down to my basement. I've been waiting for this day, son. I got my doomsday room all prepped and ready for you. No, sorry. Already fluffed the pillars. Come on down. No, you are going to get locked up. Period. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I'll let you guys know if there's anything more. Okay? If there's some more updates about this, I'll let you guys know. Maybe late tonight. We'll see. Okay? But I appreciate you guys being here. It really means a lot. Okay? So do me a favor. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do, please, before you head out. Okay? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that follow button if you're watching on other platforms. That'll be greatly appreciated. All right? Hit that join button down below. Hit that Patreon. Check it out. Check out that Patreon, of course, and check out PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys? But anyway, it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. I'm sorry. We'll be talking here soon. If there's any updates, I'll let you guys know. All right? Please follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I've been doing a lot more short updates on things that are going on in the world. Some breaking news information, trying to keep them within under about a minute and a half. So there's a lot more coming out. So please make sure you are following on my TikTok and on my Instagram as well. Okay? Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Stay safe out there. Have a great Saturday, and we'll be talking here soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.